Hello, my name is Yonghwa. I graduated in 2005. I started as a philosophy and chemistry major, and I think I switched to my anthropology because I took the intro class, probably taught by Professor Weatherford, and it seemed more practical. I was dealing with things instead of ideas, and so this in general is more, you can do things with it. I wasn't thinking too much about what I'm going to be working on. I think in 2002, 2003. I was in general just trying to get experience, so I wasn't thinking much about the work I had to do, but I thought no matter what I do, in general it'd be more practical to deal with things. So and it was lots of fun. I think from the classes I took, the only one that was directly useful was the ethnosemantics class. What's it called? Ethnosemantics. But that one where we study Spradley's book. I think so. After I graduated, I thought I wanted to work doing in union organizing as a union organizer. Came to LA, looked for jobs, but I didn't drive, so I couldn't get any jobs in movement organizing. You need to drive because you need to visit people, talk to people. So I worked at a community organization called the Korean Resource Center. It's an organization that is dedicated to movement building. It's generally known in the immigrant rights movement in the Korean community. Also, does civic participation work, make sure people go vote, and promote progressive issues and civil rights issues. After working there at KRC, the Korean Resource Center, the requirement for like driving and such wasn't as strict. Oh my God, 2 minutes. Let's see. So I started working there, and I think one cool thing at KRC is that a lot of organizations have been around for such a long time. This year is our 30th anniversary. Is that they have a long, like hierarchical structure, and it's very hard to test new ideas and change. At KRC, although it has been, even though it has a long history, because of what happened in the past, generally the layer of old-time organizers is relatively thin, and there's a willingness to try new things, openness to doing new things. So in general, I had more facility with doing technical work, like websites and databases and stuff like that. So that's the primary area where I was helping, and my main area of work is civic participation, make sure people go and vote. So I have a lot of fun creating systems. So in our organization and the coalition we belong to, we have a more effective way of doing the work. All organizers spend a lot of time like adding a picture in a flyer, like, oh, we need to send out this flyer about this rally. How do you add a picture? I don't know, it doesn't work, or we sent it to printers and it didn't work. So coming up with procedures and structures to make that work. I think anthropology helped me in that it helps me see through. A lot of times when you're busy, it's hard to see things like, oh, it's not working, we're really busy, and then got it done. And it's over, and then you move on to the next project. But if you see where the bottlenecks in terms of process were, and try to get it improved so that next time is faster, I think in general we improve the productivity of the organization and moving the movement forward. Let's see. So I think that's my main skills takeaway is when there's a problem, or oftentimes also misunderstanding when there's a problem, see why structurally it's happening, and then come up with solutions, propose solutions to deal with it. Let's see. I remember Professor Shandy, Diane Shandy, was telling us, oh, don't waste your credits doing stats class. At McAllister, McAllister is expensive, you might want to take like more qualitative, more high quality classes, and stats you can take in some community college. Actually, once you start working, maybe this depends on the person, but once you start working, depending on your work, it's kind of hard to study and work at the same time because they get in the way. Especially if your work is not like 9 to 5 kind of work. So I tried taking stats, and yeah, it wasn't very easy. I wish I had taken back in college when relatively speaking, I have more time to do things, and it's not a hard class either. But yeah, it's been hard. It's just hard to find 4 months in a row where I have evenings free. That's the really hard part. It's usually like 2 months or 1 month in a row, but not 4 months, because it's a big event, a big rally. I work on elections, so every like 6 or so months there's an elections. So I think that's it. Somewhere else where I think the skills come in handy is in movement work. There's a lot of so an area where language is molded a lot. So because our issues can be, the issues we work on is a big battleground, and depending on how it's expressed, people have different impression about the issues. So the big debate around undocumented or illegal or an immigration reform. A lot of different ways of framing the issue and how people will think about the issue. People who really don't care about the issue will think about the issue. So because of that, they're also working around language, and that coupled with care receiving, like any other community organization, being very fast-paced, a lot of work. So people express what they think in their own language, and oftentimes there's misunderstanding because people come from different backgrounds. Some people come from a particular school of thought. Some people just the everyday common language, or someone picked up a certain word from some training that they got. That's a typical situation. And there's misunderstandings, and sometimes when there's misunderstanding along with the work, people get angry and there's conflict. So sometimes I think knowing that you need to look at the context of what people are talking about, I think helps me understand those issues and sometimes mediate those problems. I don't remember exactly when, but it was a couple of times, I think.